Welcome to LogScope NMR processing. We load a LAS file. Once it's loaded, the logs will come up in a 3-track presentation. We can pinch and squeeze the presentation, we can scroll up and down, and we can do other functions which we'll talk about briefly here. We can touch on a curve and header and we can move it around. We can touch on a curved track and we can move it around. And we can also do shading, so we can do shading like so. We just tap the shading button, we fill the shading in, and you can have shading by log attribute, RGB, and quite a number of other options as shown here. The functionality in shading is quite extensive, and as you can see, you can even use histograms to decide which are the limits that you're going to have. And here is the final result. Tracks can be dragged or copied around, as we're going to show here. When it turns orange, we can drag the track and put it where we want it. We can move the track back and put it in another location. We can also copy, and we can use, by highlighting the track, the delete button to omit the track. We use the merge by well, and we use the plus sign to pull in the dlist file that's got the NMR data that we want. And we're selecting all the curves, and we allow it to load the data in just here. We can save our displays as templates, and I'm going to load in a template that gives us the NMR data. So we're loading it in, and we've got the echoes and all the other information. We can rotate the iPhone on its side so that we can see all the data. We're going to add one zone, a zone called NMR zone, and we can do that by just pulling the zones down. We edit the name, and we can also change the color, and we call this NMR zone. Once we've done this, we move to the log analysis. The log analysis is the button that will appear at the bottom of the screen. When we tap on that, and we can see all the processes exactly the same as the Windows device. We can change the logs, and we're going to change the log to the T2 spec. And then we can see all the parameters. You can see all the parameters in a list, and we're also going to use the /p : to see the NMR processor. And you can see all the parameters that we've got in there, bins and so on. And then we go to the load, and we load the zone. We can load all of them at once. We choose the geographically sensitive data store that we're going to use, and the data is loaded. All that's left is we run it, and then when we go back to the plot, we've got the output with the data as we saw it elsewhere. LogScope is a cross-plot based package, so we can go to the cross plots, and you can have the side plot, and you just swipe out from the right hand side of the plot. We'll go to the neutron density cross plot, and you can see it there. And then you can use the arrows at the top of the screen to walk your way through the cross plots, or you can just simply tap on the cross plot and go to the other cross plot. As with the Windows-based version, it has the ability to calculate the clays from the spectral gamma ray. We can go to as with the Windows-based package, you can walk your way through to the hydrocarbon density-based crossplot, and you can see exactly the same result. We have a region mode that allows you to use the side plot or the points on the crossplot to highlight things, and we'll just exit out of there, and we just go back to the main plot, and we'll show you the hydrocarbon volume report next. The hydrocarbon volume report allows us to output an Excel spreadsheet, which is what we'll do here. And in that spreadsheet, we can have histograms. So we're going to have the standard porosity, permeability, saturation histogram, and add in the NMR pore histogram. We do this from 0 to 0.4% porosity. We make sure that there are 20 bins, and that's a 0.02 interval per each bin. And we're going to do this as net. And then as soon as we hit done, we just take it and we load it into Excel, and voila, we have our histograms and the net to gross ratio. A deliverable product wouldn't be complete without a CPI plot, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to generate this plot as a PDF. We're going to use the actual width, which is about 15 inches wide, and we're going to change the components and load the CPI template or the with the parameters, and then we hit done, and it produces a PDF which we can email or export or load into PowerPoint, and this is what we have. Thank you.